Well, hello there. My name is Brother Casey Cole, and I am in the living room because there are men on our roof directly above my room making a lot of noise. Yeah, it's a bit annoying to have the constant banging and sawing just a few feet above my head for the last 3 days. But do you know what's more annoying? Having the roof leak every time it rains, so I think it's worth it. Anyway, in other much more important news, something very interesting happened to me this weekend. Today's a fun day, isn't it, family?
Yay!
What's happening today?
Today is Let's Be a Deacon Day.
Well, at least for one of us. Sorry, not for you. Yes.
Freaking Casey's gonna be a deacon.
So we're going for my diaconate ordination, and we're causing a scene. What else is new? That's right. On Saturday, March 10th at 10 a.m., I entered the Order of Deacons, receiving the sacrament of orders, commissioning me to proclaim the gospel, serve at the table, and offer works of charity for the community. There was only one problem. We showed up at 8 a.m. and the church was still locked. Luckily, we knew a guy, and were let in the side door, where my family and a few friars had about an hour and a half to kill. I don't really know why we were supposed to get there that early. Oh well. Now, naturally, this is a big ceremony, kind of a big deal, and I wanted to get some clips of it, things to share, things to keep for myself. And normally I would just bring the tripod and set it up on the side, or get the gorilla pod, selfie stick like the cool kids do. But I kind of thought that might get in the way of the ceremony. Bishop may not like that. Instead, what I was forced to do was hand off my camera to someone who didn't quite know how to turn it on, and just hope for the best. Red dot?
Yep.
And there you go.
Now, when you take pictures in camera mode, doesn't it put it in, doesn't it? It's hard.
Yeah.
So for the channel.
You zooming in?
Zooming out.
Or that? Oh. I did not have high hopes. In actuality, he did a great job, and my parents came through with a few cell phone videos, so I'd call the whole filming experience a win. So how does the ordination mass actually work? Well, it follows the same structure as the other sacraments that take place in the midst of Mass. You've got the Liturgy of the Word and the Liturgy of the Eucharist, like normal Masses, and then we kind of stuff all the important stuff in between. In this case, the rite of ordination begins after the Gospel when the candidates are called forward and presented to the bishop.
Most Reverend Father, Holy Mother Church asks you to ordain this Friar Casey Cole, our brother, to the responsibility of the diaconate.
Do you know him to be worthy?
After inquiry among the Christian people and upon the recommendation of those responsible, I testify that he has been found worthy.
Relying on the help of our Lord God and our Savior, Jesus Christ, we choose these friars, our brothers, for the order of the diaconate. Thanks be to God.
Then, after what is typically not a 17-minute homily, the candidates stand before the bishop and make their promises of the order.
Before you enter the order of the diaconate, you must declare before the people your intentions to undertake this office. Do you resolve to be consecrated for the church's ministry by the laying on of my hands and the gift of the Holy Spirit?
I do.
Do you resolve to discharge the office of deacon with humility, with humble charity, in order to assist the priestly order and to benefit the Christian people?
I do.
Do you resolve to hold fast to the mystery of faith with a clear conscience, as the apostles urge, and proclaim this faith in word and deed according to the gospel and the church's tradition?
I do.
Do you resolve?
Apparently the cameraman got a little bored at this point because the video just cuts off right there, so you don't get to hear the final 3 promises. But in a way, you didn't really miss much. I had to promise to remain celibate the rest of my life, even though I've already taken a vow of chastity. I had to promise to pray and to pray the liturgy the hours each and every day, even though I'm already bound by my Franciscan rule to do that. And I had to promise to conform my life to Jesus, even though it's kind of just my baptism. We did get the most important one though. The one that's so important that we can't say together, we have to say individually. We kneel before the bishop to say it, and we put our hands in his as we profess it. What could be so important that we've got to do all of that? Obedience to the bishop, of course.
Spirit,
I do.
may God, who has begun this good work in you, bring it to fulfillment.
From there, like solemn professions, we go to the Litany of the Saints, calling on all the saints and holy people of God to pray for us as we prepare to lay down our lives for Christ in the church, as we literally lay on the floor.
Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Christ have mercy. Christ have mercy. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Mary and Joseph, pray for us. Michael and all the angels, pray for us. Anna, Joe, and Cam, Elizabeth, pray for us. Elijah, Moses, John the Baptist, pray for us. Isaac.
After about 100 verses of the song comes the most difficult, followed by the most important task. We stand up, trying not to be so dizzy that we fall over, and then we kneel before the bishop as he lays hands upon us, the moment when we could say that the ordination happens. Now officially deacons, we're vested and presented to the community. For me, of all the parts of the rite, this was the most powerful. Not only is it in this moment when everything all of a sudden feels real, it's a fairly humbling experience, standing there patiently and passively as someone else addresses you. The yoke is being put on you and you're just waiting to carry the weight of the ministry. It's also the part of the rite that can be a bit comical, because putting on the vestments serves as a bit of a challenge for some of the priests, dropping the stole in the ground, putting it on the wrong shoulder, and in some people's cases, putting the dalmatic on backwards. I'm not saying any names, I'm just saying I've seen it happen. Mine? Absolute pro. He's vested a few deacons in his day. From there, the liturgy went as normal. The gifts were presented, the Eucharist celebrated, and we were sent out for pictures and a reception. All in all, I have to say that the ceremony was nice. In the weeks leading up to it, people had asked me if I was excited, and I always gave the same response. I felt like the opposite of a typical bride who's entirely focused on the wedding that she doesn't spend much time thinking about marriage. For me, all that mattered was getting to serve Christ in his church in this capacity, and as strange as it sounds, if I could have skipped the ceremony altogether, I would have. Unfortunately, as you know, the Catholic Church does not do sacraments by proxy, and I guess I'm glad it doesn't. There's something special about being with my family, having the friars there, about going through the rite and making everything public and official. I'm definitely excited to be a deacon, and hope that this will be a fruitful time for me and the people of God as I prepare for priestly ministry in a little over a year.